store in Osu in Accra, and I'm here to speak with Stephanie about her store and whatever she's been doing and how we can get the things that she's selling here, the brands that we can find. So listen carefully.
So, okay, well, we are running two stores basically, side by side. The initial store was Loco 08 t-shirts. So we opened in 2008, December. Actually, it was during the election period, so it was kind of freaky.
A local period.
Yes, it was a bit local. We had people on horses, like the military guys up and down parading.
Wow.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. And then remember that the results weren't coming out.
Yes.
So we were waiting and waiting. Everyone was kind of holding their breath to see what was going to happen. But yeah, we got through that. So initially we opened only selling t-shirts. The concept was pretty much about anything to do with Ghana. You know, like we really have a great sense of humor where dealing with our problems is concerned. So I figured we might as well incorporate that into our design. So a lot of our designs, you know, have that edge to them. But they do speak about the reality of life in Ghana in general. We opened a store. I say we because it's myself and Alon, my Israeli partner. He was living in the country at the time.
Okay.
He left in 2011, but he still manages the end of the supply end of the business.
Okay. So does the printing happen here or?
Unfortunately not. Okay, so we tried to get things done here because obviously it will be easier for everybody. We'll be able to react quickly, you know, to the market whenever anything happens. We're able to produce quickly, but pricing wasn't the best, and also we didn't really like the quality that we were getting at the time. So we opted to get it done in Israel because we had a contact there that was even willing to do smaller quantities, because if we're doing it in China or whatever, you have to go in a whole container. And that wasn't really what we wanted to do, because we do like limited editions for some of the items. You know, we do like 100 pieces maybe in different sizes. And once that design is up, it's up.
Yeah.
You know. Once in a while we also do reprints, maybe in different colors or things like that. But initially, yeah, I mean, from then up till today, we're still producing outside. Although I really, really would want to, you know, bring production to Ghana.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So yeah, that was our initial, you know, startup. So we're only selling t-shirts for women, for men, and for kids. And like I said, yeah, most of the commentary on the t-shirts was, you know, about our life situation in Ghana. Now the shop has evolved, you know, since 2008 till today. We've gone from selling only t-shirts to a lot of other items and collaborating with a lot of other brands, because I feel it's important that we push, you know, each other and, you know, help each other along the way. So we brought in HTW. They do the empowerment beads, which a lot of people know about. We work with Globe Clothing. They do these really cool.
When you say empowerment beads, can you?
Well, the concept behind the empowerment beads, they are also pushing young African entrepreneurship. So the main business for HTW is the name is Heal the World, and it's shoes. So they do high-end shoes, leather, handcrafted in Ghana.
Okay.
And they needed something that if everyone is not capable of affording, you know, that type of shoe. But still wanted to be associated with the brand. So they came up with the concept of these beads, which is a whole, they're all black beads with one golden or brass bead, which symbolizes gold in a way. And it's for hard work and then the reward. So people really, I mean, a lot of us are hustling.
Yeah,
You know,
we are.
we don't do one job, we all do like 5 different jobs and whatnot. So a lot of people tie to the concept. It's young and it's simple. It's something you can wear anywhere and anything. So a lot of people even wear it on their weddings and things like that. And I really, you know, I really believe and latched onto that as well.
That's nice.
So we have their beads here. When they had other products as well, like leather straps and things like that. We also carried most of them as well. So what's available, we always have.
So this side was t-shirts, and then you added on the extra brands. How do you choose the brands that you want to work with?
Well, quality is a big issue. We definitely look at quality, and also the message. I mean, what does the brand stand for? I'm not going to associate myself with a brand I know is not pushing the Ghana agenda, is not, you know, positive, and doesn't push even the young people in the country, you know, to do better and, you know, to always strive to be more than what our status quo is. Because a lot of people think made in Ghana, not so sure. You know, but we need to change that. And there's a lot going on, and a lot of people are really, they've been exposed. I think internet has had a lot to do with that. I mean, I've seen gradually that change in even what the younger generation like and not like, and what influences them. So we try and keep an eye and our ear to the ground, you know, where all this is concerned. We see a lot of stuff happening also with like the Chaliwate Festival. It's pushing arts, culture, and innovation. And there's a lot of new avant-garde, you know, I've seen a whole bunch of articles now, even on the Independence and BBC and whatnot. So, like, all people we know and who are hanging out with us, you know, everywhere. And they're really pushing it. So it's good to be an inspiration also to the youth. In an area like this, Osu, we're very close to like the Osu market. Another nice initiative started up there. They have the Osu night market going on.
You know, I've never been.
It's great. You should go.
I hear I should go and eat some kinke at night.
Exactly.
And then there's some events there as well.
Yeah, they had one last week.
Fest.
Yep. They had one last week. But every month, like every last Friday of the month, they have that going on.
So basically, back to the store, you said discovering new brands, made in Ghana, entrepreneurship, but then also you want to use your store as an event center, maybe a place for exhibitions and so on.
Exactly.
Can you elaborate on that?
So it's not just about selling products. I mean, it's a whole lifestyle. So I think exposing people's minds to what is going on in the city, because that's what we are living right now, a metropolitan environment, which has evolved, and we're dealing with it every day. I mean, there's construction going on everywhere, there's a million things are changing, you know. I mean, I remember even when I moved back in 2007 up till today, it's so different. And there's a lot of talent, a lot. So I want to be able to use this space to put that talent on show. It's not necessarily about making any money from it. I mean, I had paintings and things from artists here. We just have them in the shop. They sell, or they're there. They contact them directly. I don't, you know, take that middleman status. It's not necessary because it's something I'm passionate about, and people work hard. So it's good to, you know, help and assist where you can.
Sure. So
we do events. They're more, I'd say, more parties than like big blowout events. So we'll have a concept and just bring people together for a good time. I mean, the image of a brand is also about that. It's how you make people feel and what they associate with your brand. So letting people come and have a good time is also something that will let people leave and have a positive, you know, memory and association experience with what we do.
What I wanted to ask, because you said, so you choose the brands that you want to show here based on a feeling, whether they match with your vision, basically. And then you don't charge them to have their brands.
Okay, so that's
here. How do you?
It's still a business.
Okay,
So we, I usually maintain their prices, and then we agree on a commission. I mean, it's also retail. We also have to take into consideration the business side of things. So it's a joint collaboration. Okay. I mean, I feed off their audience or their customer base. They feed off mine, so everyone makes something out of it. Online promotion and all of that, we all collaborate on it. Okay. When we're doing events, everyone comes in together. It's all ideas we share. You know, it's not like I'm running the show on my own. It's not how.
So if somebody's interested in having their items sold here, how do they go about it?
Oh, I mean, people come around all the time. Even like if you check on our Instagram, just 2 days ago, this guy from Niger, who is like one of the guys you would meet on Loco Street, on Oxford Street, who are selling the little batik earrings and whatnot. He just walks in and he has his little bag of items and he showed me and I was like, oh, these are nice, they're cool. So I like them. I spoke with him for a little bit and we took some, which are these ones here. Cool. And we'll bring them in. But so usually that's like the procedure. You just come around, we'll have a chit chat, I'll get to know you, we'll have a feel of you know, who you are and what you do. And if I feel that the product blends in well, also with the look of the store, and it's more like, you know, it's a casual type of items, we'll put it on.
Okay, so do you have like a length of, you know, concept stores are something very, I mean, people back in Europe or in the West are very used to it. How do you think Ghanaians are responding? Are they understanding what the concept is all about? And also, do you decide how long a brand should stay in the store? let's say 6 months, if it doesn't work out 3 months? What's your period?
Okay. So far we haven't had that experience.
Mm-hmm.
We've been lucky, I guess, and we've been happy with all our suppliers. So who we have at the moment has been with us, and since they started, they still continue to supply us. They also produce new items, and there's always something fresh on their end. So it's also interesting to keep the collaboration going. But aside that, it's sorry, I missed
The concept.
How people respond. I think it's more of a subconscious thing, because initially people would walk into the store and be like, "Oh, it feels like we're abroad." So that was the first reaction. Yes, And then they look at the items and it's like, "Oh, but it's about Ghana," And then they're really proud of it because it's like, "Oh, okay, cool. This is something I can take back with me," because we also have a lot of people who live outside come here and buy stuff because we all miss home, and there's this nostalgia that's at the basis of everything. Even what we have going on in the store, it's not even just about nostalgia of Ghana, but it used to be a nostalgia of Ghana back in the day. So there's a lot of retro items as well. We have the Conco cars, which are made of milk tins and things like that. Yeah. We have our bone shakers, and even some of the t-shirt designs are very vintage. Our wooden crates, which are something that anyone's household would have. Now they're nowhere to be found because plastic has taken over the world. So I think people naturally latch on without being conscious of the fact that they are, aware. There's a positive side and a negative side, because I met a guy who lives in the area and they really admire the t-shirts, but they're intimidated from the outside. And so they would never come into the store because they assume everything is priced at outrageous.
They're, looking for.
And thank God, online, a lot of people, I'm sure people just look for Ghana, and we always show up. So it's good. We don't have a website, but our presence on social media is pretty strong. So there's Facebook, Instagram.
So can people can't order online right now?
No. The reason being, payment is still very problematic. So receiving money from outside has been my problem. If there's anybody who can help, please come to my aid.
You said earlier, I came back in 2007. Can you tell us a little bit more about, because you said from the name you're Italian, half Italian.
Yes.
And so tell us a bit about that.
Okay, so Stefania's background. Okay, well, I was born in Ghana and I went to Ghana International School. Actually, no, before that, I went to an Italian school.
In Ghana?
Was, yes.
Oh, wow.
Which was, I went from maybe class 1 till up to class 4. And then they closed it down because, honestly, myself and my sisters were half the students in the school. It was very small. It was in Jolu. So from there, we moved to Ghana International School, and I basically finished till my sixth form. After that, I left Ghana with my two sisters, and we moved to Italy, to my dad's hometown, which is Lecce, or Salento, which is really hard to find. And it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place.
Imagine.
You guys just go check it out online and you see what I mean. So yeah, I studied economics for 2 years because, our generations, our parents, you can't say I'm going to study art or literature, which is actually what I really loved. So I had to kind of, do something that would,
if you're not a doctor, lawyer, or whatever, then what is that?
What are you doing exactly? So I started economics. I did 2 years, but I didn't ever feel it was my path. I always wondered, okay, so I'm going to finish and then start working in a bank or a financial institution. That whole idea just didn't sit well with me. So I decided I would quit.
Yeah. 1 minute.
But obviously not quit education. I just felt like I needed to change my direction. So I spoke with my dad. I was like, look, I need to change because this is just not working out for me. And he's like, okay, well, see if you can find something else. I was like, fine, I'll look. If not, I'll just come back to Ghana and start working. I don't need a degree. To the point where I was like, I'm giving up. I have a degree. So I went online and, well, actually not online because back then it was still, we didn't have internet as easy. But in Italy, they publish this book every year, which is basically a manual of all the universities that are in the country and every single course that every university has. So I pretty much went through the whole book and just found one that I felt was the closest thing to what I would want to do. And it was industrial design. And funny enough, it wasn't something I saw as design per se, because I just looked at the type of subjects and the courses that would being taught. And I was like, okay, but these kind of go well with what I like. There's the artistic aspect, there's the commercial aspect, there's also scientific. It's like there was a whole design side of, you know, like mechanics and physics and all that stuff, which is something I'm passionate about.
The brainy fashion.
You know. So there was an entry exam, and because they had limited places. This is at the Polytechnic of Milan. So I was like, okay, I'll try it. If I get in, I get in. If I don't, amen, done. I'll come back to Ghana and, you know, see what happens. So I did it, and thank God I got in. And it was a 5-year course.
Wow.
So, because in Italy, the educational system is a bit different. It's not 3+2, or you do your bachelor's and then move on to your master's. Italians love studying, like really love studying.
Wow.
I don't know if you've ever heard that some of the best engineers come from Italy and things like that. So it's because they really like just shove everything into your head. Whatever you can study on the matter, on the subjects, you will learn. But it was interesting for me because as I was there for the 5-year period, you saw the evolution. And it's something that has followed me everywhere I've gone. It happened when I moved, well, we'll get to that, but even here I've seen it. It's something I've always observed. How education can bring life back to an area that has been written off and just dead. There was nothing there but like old pensioners taking care of those few grandkids, because now it's an aging population in Italy as well, so there weren't that many kids anywhere.
European problem.
Exactly. And so yeah, it was a nice environment to, you know, go through and get out of. So finished my degree in 2004. But I knew I didn't want to stay in Milan because I didn't really love the big city life. And I'd been going back to Lecce regularly every holiday, summer, Easter, Christmas, because that's home. And once I graduated, I just moved straight back. It's a different lifestyle. It's still very Mediterranean. People are very simple, very laid back. It's the biggest industry now, I would say, is tourism, because it's such a beautiful place. But there's also a lot of agriculture going on and a lot of art. So people are really into the arts. So be it drama or theater or, you know, actual like painting or, you know, all those kind of things. It was very much appreciated. And I got into a very good crowd, which was very inspiring for me at the time. I also did another master's degree whilst I was there, because I wanted to study public communication. So basically what your city council or your AMA in Ghana is supposed to be doing as far as communication to the public is concerned, which I think is also a very important part of our life. And then I started working also in a advertising agency, because we have to eat. But I must say that was also a very nice experience. So I worked there for a few years, I think about 4 or 5. And then my mom calls me one day and she's like, "Oh, Stephanie, we have a job for you here in Ghana. Are you interested?" And I was like, yeah, let me think about it. And I said, why not? Because unfortunately at the time, I didn't see my career progressing in a certain direction. I just felt like I, you know, stagnant, stay at the same job or struggle at the same job for a while, and then we didn't know what next. And I think I always had this concept in my head that coming back to Ghana would allow me to do anything I wanted, because you do have that liberty here. I mean, I grew up here, there's people I know, my parents are here, there's contacts and all that stuff. And everything is somehow closer. I mean, if you want to meet the president, you can in some way or other.
It's the only place probably,
you know?
You can, like 2 people will take you to the
you
president.
get there.
You
in Italy, like, there's no way I'm going to meet the president. I mean, not that that's my aim, but just to say, you know, you can get more done, and there's definitely more possibilities and opportunities here in a developing country than there would be in an already, you know, established environment. So I was like, why not? I came back. I didn't get a job in advertising. My job was actually in construction.
Italians in construction.
Exactly. Because they need the bilingual. I was speaking English and Italian at the time. Well, still do. So that's what they were looking for. A university graduate who could speak both languages and had at least, you know, a brain in their head. So I worked with a construction company for a year, and then I moved on to another company which is still in the field of construction. They do aluminium. Yes, I was working with they were dealing in glass facades, curtain wall, cladding, and all these things. So it was a nice experience. I definitely enjoyed it. It was in sales, so also more to my baggage, you know, learn more. And I must say I had a boss that was very, very interested in imparting knowledge, which is something I appreciated a lot about him. Miss Agostino.
Oh.
So shout out to Miss Agostino.
So how long did you stay there?
From 2007 till 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So basically, we opened Loco. I was working, I had a day job, and then we're still running the shop. And my partner also, he was also working for a construction company in Israeli, and we had this going. So we had the staff come in every day after work, check things are going well.
Such a power woman.
I wish. We're getting there. And it was still keeping me at least connected with my design and creative side. That's something that, I don't know, somehow I always had to find an outlet for. So that was my out, at least in that. And in the meantime, I was also still doing graphic design, like freelance, because people would call. I need a logo, I need a website, I need this, I need that. So I was still, doing those things in my free time.
Cool.
So all that was running, let's say, side by side. This year, however, I've decided I want to really jump in and actually, well, it's not really about entrepreneurship for me. It's more about my identity.
Ooh, I like that part.
Yeah. It's because, you can be doing things because they seem right or they seem logical. That, I get a salary, I get a house paid for me.
That's how it's supposed to be.
That's just cool. I'm okay. I don't need anything. But there's always that chook, It's
So
like,
you're lying
look,
to
there's
yourself,
still some
baby.
stuff you need to be doing, And I mean, I'm not a salesperson. I mean, fine, we're dealing with retail, but it's not really about just retail. I'm not a salesperson, by definition. I'm a creative. And I've actually now come to identify myself as a designer. Even though I have the degree and I've had this, but I never felt, authorized in some way to actually get out and say I'm a designer. So now it's something that has become, and it's something I'm owning, and it's something I'm living. So
you go, girl.
We're getting there, and I think everyone's calling it will never leave you alone.
No.
You have to go with it at some point.
Yeah.
So I've dropped all the construction stuff. I mean, we'll have projects on the side that will make us eat. But true, what I really want to do is, be a creative person. So taking up on photography, exhibitions, events, all the things we're doing here, coming together with all kinds of other creatives and working together with them. It's just a great experience for me.
And it's cool because I think the moment you accept your calling, things fall into place.
It's funny,
it's funny how we met probably like a year ago when I was
none of this ever came up.
And then now we're sitting here talking about this thing. I'm doing this, YouTube channel. And
exactly.
It's so
and
weird.
it's something
because it's always
right
been
direction.
there, but you never. And for me, what I love that you said is you never allowed yourself, you authorized yourself to use that. There's always this little voice that says, "But who are you to say that?" Although you had the degree to back it.
Yeah, even.
And I may not have on paper something that says, I'm sure there's no job as YouTube.
YouTube
degree or something. But I am a communications person.
Exactly.
All my skills kind of send me this direction, but for some reason it felt like, oh no, I can't really say that this is what I do.
Exactly.
And it's really fun when you do it. It doesn't feel like a job, and
it's not.
You feel satisfied, and it brings all the different people into your life.
And you have a different energy. I mean, you're definitely a different person, and you're more positive. You see the joy in what you're doing, and people see it too.
Yeah,
I think it pulls people in.
Yeah,
it opens a lot of doors.
Attraction, law of attraction.
Things happen. Yeah, things just start happening.
Snowball effect. Yes. Good. So tell us a bit more about that feeling, that change.
Well, it's been a very rough process. It's had to do with everything from relationships to professional choices and tanking on things and failing at stuff and learning from them. So it got to a point where everything just came crashing down. And that was, I would say, probably around May this year, when I really started thinking about, okay, where am I going? What am I doing? I'm driving somewhere, but I don't really think I'm going the right direction. So I started really thinking through stuff, and I came to a few decisions that, have impacted till now. So it wasn't an easy process, definitely. I mean, self-discovery is also a very rough process, I think. Some people have it easier, it happens sooner in life. I don't know. I mean, it's like I'm also now discovering how much of a woman I am.
Very weird. She was born a woman, but she didn't know.
I think even accepting that about yourself. I mean, there's girls who are just feminine, straight up from when they're kids. And you see that they're like pink and everything is in a certain way. But for me, I was always a tomboy. My friends were always boys. In fact, when I had a boyfriend, he's like, you have too many male friends. There was nothing like sexual or, I just found it's easier hanging out with guys because
a lot of women do. Do the gossip, the fights with girls. Sometimes
that stuff really throws me off. Yeah,
but as you said, there's some things you just have to discuss with the sister.
So now, yes, and so after going through all these experiences, I've realized like even my relationship with my mom has changed. My aunts, my sisters. I've always had a very good relationship with my sisters, I must say, but it's taken another step.
Level.
It's gone to another level, which is nice. And so it's something I'm actually appreciating, and it's not like I'm consciously every day, I have to be a woman, but I'm just going with it, and I'm allowing it to happen, and it's flowing pretty
I think it's about being vulnerable and accepting that it's okay. This is not a fight, there's no competition, there's no, this is how I feel because this is how I feel, and when you let go, it's liberating.
So that's one of my truths at the moment, is being true to myself.
Oh, this is my motto. Girl, you stole it.
Like whatever is you, just do it. Be you. Be you. So I think it's something very important for women because we're always told how to be and who to be. And
define your own.
Yes, defining yourself is very, very important. So some people are really fortunate. I mean, they have mentors or people in their life that really instill that in you from a very young age. So you grow up with it, you don't even make the effort.
You don't even know.
Yeah, but there's other people who have grown up maybe more affected by their surroundings or society and whatever.
We all are, but sometimes we're unconscious of it.
And we're not conscious of
choices.
That.
We don't even know that it's because we've been pushed to think a certain way. Even our choices of partners, our choice of jobs, the way we dress, everything. And for me, it's interesting that you mentioned that when you decide in May, when things came crashing down, that's when you broke free, basically.
Exactly. Because there's nothing to lose anymore.
I think the same thing happened for me before I moved to Ghana. That decision, when it started with my hair, where I decided to go natural, but then so many things affected it.
And you feel it all comes together.
Well, now we've moved into the Elle Loco.
Elle Loco, yes.
Elle Loco part of the store, which is the female side of the shop.
So Elle Loco is a concept that basically develops, and I started actually working on it since July this year. And it's all part of the whole embracing femininity, and I guess this is a physical representation of it.
Very nice.
In some regard. So we opened in September, and the idea is basically to provide a space that's dedicated exclusively to women. So aside from having items that we would like to buy, which is like clothing items or fashion accessories or beauty products, shoes and bags and all that stuff. Also create a space where women could interact. We haven't gotten around to that yet. I mean, we haven't had any events in that regard, but we're working towards that as well. So exhibitions, talks, seminars. I'll be honest, my aunt, she's a preacher, but she's also very focused on women's development, and I'll definitely pull her in when the time is right.
Great, and I'd love to work with you on that with Baby as well. Okay. I mean, I have other friends from Sweden who are pro-women and doing lots of things around women empowerment and lots of things like that. And also the idea behind the channel was to discuss some topics, but then once in a while come live into a place where you would actually meet the people and talk about the topics in detail.
Okay.
A lot of things I wanted to talk about had to do with relationship and sexuality with women. But being in Ghana and sexuality and
it's
women
something that you have to be
taboo. You don't want it to be. I didn't want to be branded as whatever.
Yeah, I'm coming in as some radical.
Yeah. So I think I was looking for when to actually have a space where the women we could meet and talk about those things more. Invite speakers to talk about those specific topics. And I don't know if you followed some stuff on Instagram last week, and it was about Blogging Ghana organized something, and they had a female bloggers talk about women and sexuality in Africa. So these are the type of things we want to talk about, and this is a great space for that.
So there's a lot coming. There's definitely a lot coming, and as always, collaborations are most welcome. So we'll definitely have a chance to
Great. We're looking forward to it.
Good.
So apart from the events you want to organize here and then the exhibitions, what other things can we look forward to for next year?
Well, I'll say it's all a bit fresh at the moment. So for now, I'm concentrating more on making the space top notch and having at least from a retail perspective, having the brands I would like to have represented here all on board and seal all those deals. And then take it to the next level where we can actually start with seminars and discussions on around women.
Yeah.
We're also looking at using the whole space because it's a very big complex. It's not just a shop. There's a lot of space that can be used for all kinds of things. So we can be doing video projections, documentaries, films, music, live shows, all that kind of stuff.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
So there's a lot that we'll be able to put together.
Great. So actually at Elle Loco, how many different brands do you have currently?
We have quite a few. So where fashion is concerned, we represent Osei Duro. They do hand-dyed batik and silk clothing items.
Like the ones we have behind
us. Like the scarves we have and a few other things. There's Rafia. She specializes in using fabrics from the north, so the type batakaris are made from.
The top I was wearing yesterday.
Exactly.
By the way, and I'm going to be doing a little photo shoot after this talk where I'll try on a few of the designers here just to show you guys how it looks on a real human being.
So there's her stuff. Then there's Mizigo. She's from Nigeria and she does some really avant-garde stuff. It's very nice. We did a photo shoot a few weeks ago, which is a lot of fun. And then there'll be more brands coming, but I won't release any names until they're in the shop. We have Anago bags from Togo. We're dealing with beauty products, so there is Skin Gourmet. She does completely purely organic soaps and creams and oils. And it's really so organic you can eat half the stuff. Though it's not something you wouldn't want to drink neem oil, for example, but it's
you
possible.
could if you wanted.
Exactly.
Oil pooling.
Then we have Pop Organics. She's actually the daughter of FC Beauty Cosmetics.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And she's come up with her own line. It's called Pop Organics.
Nice.
And she does like bath bombs and soaps and lip balms and little things like that. So it's a bit more fun and cute. Then we have a new brand which is Bio Beauty Bar as well. She specializes in natural hair products, and she does a lot of other items as well, like soaps and face steam packages and things like that. Shoes. We have Mona, which is a combination of it's two sisters who were working together, and it's their brand. So they do mostly sandals. They're produced in Ghana. Then we have some jewelry items which we also produce ourselves. We might get around to do some clothes eventually, I guess.
Wow.
There's some furniture like this one.
I'll take a couple of pictures so I can show you.
That's also my another branch of my business. It's the workshop. So I'm restoring old colonial furniture and then coming up with some new pieces as well.
Okay.
So there's
I still haven't done
on.
a housewarming.
So
and
there's
I live
lifestyle,
in
there's all of that.
colonial buildings. I would love to buy some of your items for it.
Jewelry, we have Joansu. So she does resin, jewelry, gold, also some gold pieces and silver, which are very intricate, very nice. There's a lot coming.
Okay,
so we're always scouting and looking for brands which
it's an organic growth basically.
Yes.
So it's just moving on.
People are coming and approaching me. I'm also out there looking at people's work. I went to Ghana Fashion and Design Week and I saw quite a few nice designers that I've been contacting and seeing how things will go.
Great.
So
we're looking forward to it.
There's more.
So what about, let's just go into the practical stuff. So you're located in Osu at Loco Street. Does it have a number?
Our Ghana numbers are weird. It's F604/1.
All right, we don't remember that.
Road. So we're open from 9 in the morning till 7:30 in the evening.
Every day,
except Sunday.
On Sunday.
Yeah.
All right.
So, websites for Elle Loco will be up. It's www.LELLELOCO.com.
I'll put all the details in the description box.
All that stuff.
And then you have an Instagram page as well.
Instagram for Elle Loco. For now, we just have Facebook and Instagram. But for Loco t-shirts, there's pretty much too much everything. There's Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter.
You can never have
YouTube, WordPress. It's all
all right. So if you can find it,
you can find
if you're looking for it, you'll definitely find it. And I'll link everything below. So I hope you guys enjoyed meeting meeting
Having you here.
Stefania and discovering her store. And hopefully you'll pass by. If you don't live in Ghana, wherever you are, please pass by. If you are, then don't hesitate. If you've been here, mention the hashtag Elle Loco and Didi as well, so we know. And hopefully we'll be collaborating soon. What we want to do is basically offer a discount. I'll give out a code that is chosen by Stefania, and then if you use that code, you can get a discount on the items that she chooses. So I'll share more information about that later. Thank you very much. It was lovely.
I had a nice time.